It is August 2nd, 2024 on a Friday, 8:31 a.m. and 32 seconds. Still 32 seconds. Still 32 seconds. I know where you're at. It's straight up, top of the clock. Should be 9 a.m. right here. It's not. Look down in the bottom right corner. Oh, let's see. I got to do my arrow thing. Let's see. I do that and that right down there. It's 8:31 and 32 seconds. And let's do this piece. Oh, that's interesting. I can zoom in on Windows, but I cannot zoom in on the taskbar. 7 minutes before showtime. I look at the clock on Big Beast Build and it says I got half an hour before showtime. So I go upstairs. I look at my watch and I see it's 5 minutes until showtime. I've shown you this before. Big Beast Build on every monitor. Here's monitor number 2, bottom right corner. Monitor number 3, bottom right corner, 8:31 and 32 seconds. And then, since that threw me off, I neglected to hit the buttons right. So the stream started after the bumper was playing for a little while. Because I forgot to do that piece. Friday. What are you gonna do? Jeff Ryman, hello. Rick Lakes, hello. Ran Israel. Jonathan, Selden Ball, Alice. Brian Lightfoot says, did you know the first 5 days after the weekend are the hardest? Oh, well, those are the only days after the weekend. After that, you got the next weekend. All right, I figured it out. Took me a moment. 2 cannibals are eating a clown. One says to the other, does this taste funny to you? I got that one. First read. Greg M. Always concerned when I do 3 separate returns to Amazon at the same time, and Amazon's system says only shows the 2 less costly items have been dropped off at Canada Post. Have a CP receipt showing that I did. Time bins, time warps around Big Beast Build. No more instant refunds when items are dropped off from Amazon. I've seen that to be inconsistent. It seems to me that depends upon maybe who originally shipped the item or who the vendor was. I've seen some items, it's when I drop them off, I get the credit immediately, and some I don't get the credit until the vendor receives it. Frosty Winnipeg, me waves to LWDP. Well, hello, Frosty Winnipeg. I'll wave back to you. Tim Sowell. Hello, Tim. I'm suspecting in the past he was off on Fridays, so maybe that's why he's there now. Okay, so I got to go follow up from yesterday. I did a 2-part show yesterday. The first part was intended to be short. Oh, first let's acknowledge Darren Gilholm with his happy smiley faces from, I don't know, was that yesterday's show, 482? Might have been 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. So thank you, Darren. And thumbs up and heart. Refresh to see if there's anything else there, and I'll go check held for review, see if there's anything there. Now, so then, what I did yesterday is a 2-part live stream. The part 1 was 7 minutes, 18 seconds, and I was experimenting with some copyrighted music. So today, the next part of that is to do the editing. Up here at the top, it says, let's see, can I do Does Zoom work all right with that? We've updated the erase song feature on your video copyright details page. Try the new AI-powered technology to remove content ID claimed music while preserving the underlying audio of your video. So I tried that last week, and the mistake I made then is I was playing video along with the music. Well, it turns out that the video was also copyrighted. So what the AI did is it actually cut out those portions of my live stream. This time yesterday, I just played the audio without showing the copyrighted video. So today, the AI should be able to edit out the music and leave my voice, because I was talking over the music. So my voice should still be intact and just getting rid of the music. Also, the thing that I did yesterday is I played some of the most favorite songs of whatever year, 1980, I think it was. And those are only 5 seconds long each. Those are allowed. Those will, I believe, will stay. So let's go see what this did on live, and then part 1 of 2. So here it says copyright ineligible, cannot be monetized, and then video contains copyright material, as a result been blocked in some countries or regions. Now if we go into copyright, choose see details, this is where it's going to show me what is objected to. And it was two songs that I played for a longer period of time. It does not object to the most favorite songs of 1980, because those were only 5 seconds per song. Those will stay intact. So this one, I Want a New Drug, I let that go for 11 seconds, so it got nailed. And this one for 12 seconds. Now I think there was another one that I did for like 7 or 8 seconds that apparently escaped from copyright objections. So now I'll go into select action and erase the song. Remove the claimed song while keeping other sounds such as speech, or mute all sound. So do I actually have to? Well, then here's replace song. Pick an audio from YouTube audio library to replace the claim audio and resolve the claim. Could do it that way. Or trim out the segment. I'm not going to do that. Or dispute it. So I'm going to do erase song, which this is the only part of this that's new. These others don't say that they are new. So then continue. Remove the claim song in all detected segments while keeping other sounds such as speech. Or I could mute all. Erase song. And I'm hoping that I'm going to remember to come back and check at the end of today's show and see if it is completed yet. Now this, I can't select action on this one. Unavailable while video is processing. So I have to do these one at a time. I didn't realize that was going to happen. So yeah, I can't do that now. All right. I'll leave that window open. And then I'll go to chat comments from 2 shows ago. Yesterday I did not, I did read through the chat, but I didn't capture anything. 2 shows ago, we were talking about peer-to-peer networking. Have I not heard of SpeakerBot? I think I did. Just not much going on, I guess. Okay. We talked about peer-to-peer. So I'll correct some things here. Greg M, peer-to-peer is used when no router is used, I think. No, that's not quite it. And I know that the peer-to-peer networking and server-based networking, if you're not actually doing it, then it is a little bit of a mystery. A router is going to have to be in place if you want to connect to the internet. If you're just connecting between the computers in-house and not going out to the internet at all, then you don't need a router. But even with a router and connecting to the internet, you might have a server-based network, you might have a peer-to-peer based network, or all your computers inside your building might be independent of each other and not share resources with each other at all. I have clients with servers, with Microsoft Windows Server operating system, which is really good for, you can create different user accounts, have different levels of rights for the different people. They can have different access rights to files that are stored on the server. In a peer-to-peer network, you don't have a dedicated server, but you have one or more of the computers in that network that has its resources shared to the other computers. So it can be one or more of the peer computers. They are peers to each other, like they are on the same level with each other. You can also have a, let's see, dedicated peer server. And I have this in some offices where there's a computer that has the same Windows operating system as all the other computers, but nobody uses that computer as a workstation. It is dedicated to the function of serving files and printers to the other computers on the network. Why would you do that? Well, I have some offices that have vertical market software that can run on a peer-to-peer server, meaning it's just a Windows operating system, just Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11 Pro. You don't, Home, you could do it with Home, but a little bit better to do it with Pro. How can I argue that? I'm not going to argue that right now. So you can't. Now, the reason for doing that is because all the other computers are counting on that computer to stay up and running. If somebody's actually using that as their computer, there's the possibility they might experience a lockup, or they might have the computer busy with other things, so it's slow to the other people in the office. What's the advantage of a peer-to-peer dedicated server? Well, that is that you're not paying the expensive purchase price of a server hardware, normal server hardware, which is generally more expensive, and the server operating system, which is more expensive, and you have to have special user licenses. Let's see, come back here. Yeah, some people did some Google searches and put some things in that were into chat that were partially informative. John Danny with, that was funny. The notification came up on his wife's Mac computer to call Windows because her Mac was infected. That obviously was a scam. And this search, I think I have it up over here. Lawn Dog did a search. Do peer-to-peer networks have a master computer? And that's where we got into the issue about not master computer, but master browser, which is a different function. Let's not go down that road again. We already beat that one to death. I had just captured those while I was reading through chat after the show. And this was another copy and paste from Google search. This one I think I wanted to point out. Yeah, peer-to-peer networks don't have a central server or master computer. Instead, every computer in the network acts as both a client and server. Not necessarily, because you might have just one of the computers identified as the peer server and the others are just functioning as clients. So that was just from another copy and paste. So let's go back to chat room and see what's up. Oh, let's see how this is doing. Video editing. Okay, so it finished that one. Now we'll go select action for Africa by Toto and erase song and continue. And this is showing like what Brian's experience was, that it really did it pretty quickly. Although it'd be interesting to see what would happen during a full length, one of my full length shows. If I do copyrighted video in there, will that take longer for it to finish? I don't seem to have chat room open anywhere. Or I don't have it popped out. Oh yeah, I do. It's back here. That didn't show up on Alt-Tab. Interesting. Has anyone heard of 7 minutes to wait? No, I don't know what that's referring to. Where was I? Yeah, I've seen those. I had to pester Amazon for refund, and same for Wise Canada. Savi says, hello to everyone without exception. That's a good friendly greeting. Not off no more on Fridays. So Tim is talking to us from work, I guess. You just knew this was going to happen. What do we got here? We got a topic. Intel class action lawsuit investigation begins for the company's CPU crashing and instability issues. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be, that was expected to become a class action suit, not a leisure suit. So yeah, it doesn't show up on Alt Tab. That's curious, but it's over here on the side. I thought I used to be able to get to that with Alt Tab. Thank you for that, Randy Israel. Has anyone heard of 7 minutes to wait? No, I have no idea what that's in reference to. All right, since I don't have a lot of topics to talk, I mean, Windows troubleshooting issues or people asking questions about computers. So now Uber wants us to wait 7 minutes for a rider. New 7-minute wait time. I cancel people after 3 minutes as a punitive measure. That's Uber. So 7-minute rule. Modern Mrs. Darcy. Set a rule for herself set a rule for herself in any face-to-face conversation. She would wait 7 minutes before she gave up and took out her phone. Don't do Alt Tab to get back to chat. Go click over here. Gary and Taran. So far, only 2-year low-level marketing guy from Intel has commented on 13th and 14th gen CPU problems, and that is only on a community forum port or board. Forum port. So is the 2-year low-level marketing guy, is he going to get his hand slapped for talking about it? Daniel Emberley, looks like I'll have a fun afternoon. Just got a message from daughter having PC shutdown issues. A Windows issue. While playing games, suggested she check normal office activities and C drive available space. Okay, well, another thing you could do is Windows key, and is it going to come up anywhere? I'll try hitting that. And then reliability. View reliability history. Let that report come up and see if that gives you any clues as to what's going on. That takes a little while for it to finish. Having PC shutdown issues while playing games. So not having, I don't think she's saying she's having trouble shutting the computer down, because this is while playing games. So the computer is shutting down. Is she getting a message on the screen says computer is shutting down? Or does it just crash? Or does it get a blue screen? But Danielle, you know some of the things to go look for. Yeah, Gary gave a typo correction there. Any free alternative to Photoshop for Alice? Well, there is a exclamation mark R. That was random. That didn't speak as a speaker bot. You would want exclamation mark D to talk to me. Do we get some responses for Photoshop? Scanning. Let's see, free alternative to Photoshop. I know there are some, I just don't know what they are offhand. Is SpeakerBot working? It's really quiet. Free alternative to Photoshop, and it comes up with Lightroom and Photoshop. No, that's sponsored, not free. Here are some free alternatives to Photoshop. GIMP, Pixlr, free Photoshop alternatives. Here's an article from Zapier.com. A lot of times, you got to be careful with these. Oh, that was Victor going on. A lot of times, you got to be careful with these.
Greg M. said Intel laying off 15% of workforce.
Oh, yikes. Do you got a link for that, Greg M? Photoshop alternatives, the 9 best free. Sometimes these articles are biased because they are actually paid by somebody. Adobe Express for easy AI features. That's not quite Photoshop alternative, is it? Canva. I use Canva. I don't remember if I'm paying for it or not, but it's certainly free. I like Canva. I find it easy to use. But there's some
Read
there.
chat, please.
Okay. Greg M., here's the link from The Verge related to Intel laying off 15% of workforce. 15,000 employees. Is that coincidentally 15%? Did he say? Oh, look at there. Alt tab got me back to this. 15% of workforce. This is saying 15,000. Company currently employs over 125,000 workers. So 15,000 is not 15%. Doesn't matter. Loss of 1.6 billion, and now they're getting sued. I'm guessing this probably would have happened even if their recent troubles did not occur. Thank you, Greg M. I will read through that in more detail later. The problem with the class action lawsuit is that they need to get EE to say definitively what is wrong. EE. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to recognize it obviously when you tell me what it is, but not my wheelhouse. Everyone is reporting his part of as official position of Intel. That reminds me, there would be no Windows part Windows 10, which was never posted by MS Management. I'll worry about getting that straight later. Let's see, alternatives to Photoshop. That was an actual end user asking
Gary
something.
Weisenberger said past.
Past. That was to clarify something that I didn't understand earlier. I don't know what. So far only, no, it's not that. Past low level. Yeah, you give me a single word answer to something that I read and I don't make the connection. Somewhere in there. They need to get past to say definitely. Yeah.
Gary Weisenberger said past Windows 10.
Oh, back there when there was something about Windows. Which one was that? Past. That reminds me, there would be no Windows past Windows 10, which was never posted by MS Management. But everyone is reporting his port. I'm sorry. No, here's what you could do, Gary, is take that whole sentence, paste it again, and then correct whatever's wrong with it, instead of giving me just the corrections. You should know I'm too dense to understand what you meant. I'm not going to understand this until I go back and read it through in logical order in a way that I can comprehend each line. Because right now I'm trying to talk and read and show at the same time.
Ran Israel said, I think Gary means that Microsoft never officially stated that Windows 10 will be the last version of Windows.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But when that was said in a spoken speech, it could be interpreted different ways. And the way that the media got it wrong was saying the guy said something like, in this last version of Windows, such and such and so, like the most recent version of Windows. And media picked up on that and said he's claiming that's going to be the last version of Windows. They just got it wrong. So far, only a 2-year low-level marketing guy from Intel has commented on 13th and 14th gen CPU problems, and that is only on a community forum post. Yeah, okay, thank you. That makes a whole lot of sense. But that is not related to this piece. There's nothing in there about past Windows. Those must have been separate commands. And that was probably maybe the thing about last version of Windows was a conversation going on between people. There it is. EE, electronics engineer. Well, Greg M is speculating that's what it was. So there's EE. Yeah, 12 times that EE occurs. The problem with the class action lawsuit is that they need to get electronics engineer to say definitely what is wrong. That doesn't sound challenging. Is that really what Gary meant? Nothing in there about Doug. Do you have any problems of your clients that use Thunderbird email program? There may be an upcoming issue that needs to be addressed. I currently don't have any clients using Thunderbird that I'm aware of. I used to. It concerns with Outlook and contacting the Outlook email server and how Microsoft is changing the authentication and telling third-party email programs that they're no longer to be compatible. Well, that would be if you got an older version of Thunderbird and it's using, what do they call it, less than secure apps. I'm suspecting a current version of Thunderbird should be able to do the more secure authentication. And that is Thunderbird's bad. That's not Microsoft's bad. If Thunderbird hasn't been able to keep up with modern authentication, that's their bad. And if that's the case, people should not be using it. But I think they've done that. The place where we'd have the problem is I'd have people using Thunderbird that weren't updating it, and they were an obsolete version and causes problem. Yeah, Greg M says Thunderbird uses OAuth. OAuth would be the new modern way of doing it, I'm pretty sure. Intel has 2 issues with CPU's oxidation for 4 months. Yeah, these CPUs made it out of the channel until, and that is happening because of the microcode problem with too much voltage causing the oxidation, if I understood that right. Second, there is overvoltage that may be corrected with UEFI update, and that's a different overvoltage than the microcode. There was a motherboard manufacturers were automatically, by default, overvolting CPUs. So they had to go back to Intel defaults in order to stop that from causing overheating issues. But the microcode, as I understand, is a separate issue which was causing the oxidation. Londog just updated Thunderbird to see if that fixes it. Had simple basic authentication. Yeah, I understand that. I know what that is, what that is, using the old style authentication. Having Dell as part of CPU lawsuit would make more sense. Okay. Just posted the change. Oxidation issue. I know oxidation issue is not microcode, but isn't it the microcode that was causing the oxidation? That's what I understood from reading the articles. I didn't study them real deeply, so if I'm wrong, let me know that. But yeah, oxidation is not microcode, but the microcode problem was causing the oxidation issues because they were putting extra voltage in somewhere. Londong, you have to go read the articles. I can't explain it. There's articles out there. Go read them. All right. So I accept that I may still be saying that a bit wrong, and that's why I do that. I will say it a bit wrong so that you can correct me and we get that resolved to the community here that keeps coming back to. If you just take one of my shows out of context and say, well, Doug said such and such, well, yeah, but this is conversation here. This is not highly researched and studied stuff like what Steve Gibson does. His show is
Read chat,
completely
please.
scripted, and it's a good show. Greg M. Oxidation is not caused by microcode. It was manufacturing issue in one of their fabs, possibly for 4 months. Okay, you know what? Now that you say that, I remember that. I remember about the fabs, but so there's something else about microcode. So is there the motherboards defaulting to overvoltage? There's something about microcode. There's the oxidation caused by fabrication for possibly 4 months. Okay. Getting down. And you know what? I'll go read one of those articles, and if I don't study it and rewrite it, it has a low level of absorption. All right, I think that's good. I've got a redirect set up for Carrie's show. I'm planning to have my regular Saturday show tomorrow, and that'll do it for now. You can still type in chat a little bit after I end the show. And there should be coming up, whoops, end screen. Yeah, why didn't that come up? Come on, end screen. Push the button. There it goes. You can watch this video, see how to get free support through this YouTube channel. This video to see how to get paid support from me directly in private sessions. This video to see how to turbocharge your troubleshooting experience by interacting with this show. And this is a video that's recent on my channel that YouTube suggests for you to watch. Have a great Friday, everybody. Catch you later.